Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every day with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. And of course, I think of my favorite quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which says, "Life is too important to be taken seriously, so lighten up, folks." Okay, so before I tell you what today's topic is, which you could probably figure out by my backdrop, I just want to touch base on my video that I did last week where I spoke about mental health and specifically about my own, where I was like, I think I'm mildly depressed. Well, I did speak to my therapist like a day or two after that, and he mentioned something called PTSE, post-traumatic stress experience, which is like a new thing within the psychotherapy world, where in essence, it's like post-traumatic stress experience where, because this pandemic 2 years ago, it's been stressful and suddenly you're isolated and you're not like doing anything. Then finally, when you start to put yourself out there, way later on, it's almost like you have to relearn things. So these feelings that I've had of like feeling lost and unsure and confused and almost like afraid, it's very like normal. So normal because of what we've gone through. So, I mean, it's still like not normal to feel that way. So in my opinion, it's still like a mental health issue. But, in his professional opinion, he's like, you're not really depressed. You're going through this and you're one of many people that are going through it. So moral of the story, look it up, PTSD. I'm going to do a video on that later on. But if you are feeling any of these feelings, it's normal. Abnormal, but normal for where we've been. Okay, so topic, Mardi Gras, birthday, yay! So when I do these story times, I always talk about my favorite, whatever it is. So last year I did a Mardi Gras one, I did a birthday one. So then, of course, this year, because Fat Tuesday is on the 1st, which just happened, you'll be watching this on the 4th. My birthday would have just been on the 3rd. Last 2 years ago, right before the pandemic, on Fat Tuesday, I did a show for the Sean Casey Animal Rescue, which was great because like I was in full drag. I did like 5 different sets, like 20 numbers. It had been the first time that I had dressed up and I don't know how long. And I had just launched this channel and it was my intention to like, get back into that and like, put myself out there and do shows and dress up. But then all of a sudden the pandemic hit. So I had my original favorite Mardi Gras story was when I was in New Orleans way back when. But this one 2 years ago, I think because it was the last time that I felt that I was like living, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, that Mardi Gras was so great to me. Plus, doing things for the cute little doggies and cats. And then, so that was on Tuesday the 25th. And that Saturday the 29th, which, because it was leap year, that's when I did my annual birthday bash at Nowhere Bar, where I had done it there for like 4 or 5 years, including that year. Obviously, last year I didn't do anything because how could I? And then on my actual birthday that same year, which would have been on the 3rd, a few days later, me and my girl Selena, hey girl, we went to this like the art exhibit, which was like, sex workers who were like artists. And then so we went there and then she took me out to dinner and I did a video on that. Went to my favorite French restaurant in my neighborhood, Bliss 46 Bistro. And what was so great about that particular night was we were one of 3 tables. So then I'm like filming the video and then all of a sudden, like there were 2 other tables there. And it just so happened that the 2 other tables, the man in each one of those tables, they were there celebrating their birthday. So what are the chances that like 3 tables, each table, someone was celebrating their birthday? So I was like, oh my God, it's my birthday. So I made them part of the video. They live in the neighborhood. We've become friends. It was great. So 2020, those 3 things that happened in a matter of like a week, it was so incredible. And I was on such a high because I was like, oh, good. Now I have this YouTube channel. All this stuff is happening. And like, I'm going to move forward with it. And then Friday, March 13th was when like the world shut down. And I was like, what? We're so much for plan A. So I did video all 3 of those separate videos a year ago. Check them out. This video, it's like, when I was thinking about like, what's my favorite Mardi Gras, my favorite birthday, I thought, you know what, 2020, because it was like, it was an incredible week for me. And then I went from like this incredible week to like suddenly PTSD, pandemic, and all this shit. But the good news is that I am back on the saddle, and on Saturday, March 5th at 8 p.m., I'm having my annual birthday bash at Nowhere Bar, which is at 322 East 14th Street off of 2nd Avenue. So I will be there starting at 8 p.m. It's no cover charge, free to get in, but you do have to have your physical ID. Doesn't matter how old you are or how old you look. If you do not have your ID, they ain't letting you in. That's number one. Number two, you have to show proof that you are fully vaccinated. You don't have to be boosted, but at least fully vaccinated. And then, but it's a great place. It's free to get in, cheap drinks. I will be there. It's open to the public, so anyone that wants to show up, tell your friends, the more the merrier. So, all right, guys, that's the scoop. I love doing these videos. I was so excited to do all of this because it just reminded me of like everything that happened 2 years ago. And because I've been in my own sort of like state of funk, I'm happy that I feel like I'm starting to come out of it. So Saturday, March 5th will be great for me. All right, guys. Love you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not. And I look forward to seeing everyone. All righty. Love you.